Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video, I'm going to go through the Forex market wrap. We're going to go through some key changes this week and what we've generally seen from the markets. And it's all been dollar strength, really. Dollar has had a really good performing week. The weakest currency of this week has probably been the New Zealand dollar. That has really felt the pain against a few currencies this week. But I'm going to start off with some retail trading sentiment, okay? And this is provided by the guys over at Daily FX, and they produce this little table in here which shows us where retail markets are positioned, retail traders are positioned, and it shows you the longs and shorts and the open interest of that market. And what's really important is to note where retail are seeing the market going, and typically they are usually wrong in the short term, and that's what we typically look for if we look at some potential trading opportunities. Now, looking at this market, there's been some huge changes this week, and notably the huge changes that I've noticed is the pound US dollar and euro pound in particular. So euro pound has changed dramatically over the course of this week, and we've seen some huge changes into the open positions here. The fact that the long positions have increased so much and the shorts have decreased so much says to me that the retail market is very heavily bullish euro pound right now, which means that price is more than likely going to keep decreasing further. So this is going to be one that we're going to look at going into next week for some potential trading positions. But also let's take a look at the pound. Now, although 55% of retail is long at the moment, we've had some huge decreases again in those long positions and huge increases in short positions. The reason being is because if we go take a look at pound US dollar, we've started to see this change in trend. Okay, the market has started to make those lower lows, lower highs, so we'd be looking for potentially for the market to continue to the downside. Okay, now what we have to be careful of is that retail are starting to increase their long position. They're starting to increase their short positions because they're looking at the trend moving downwards. So will this trend continue, or will it actually start to reverse? Now, what's interesting when we go up to the weekly time frame is that prices come into this key zone just through here where the market has previously found some resistance, okay, and we've impulsed from this area in the past. So this to me is a good area to potentially be looking for long positions, especially down here on this candlestick in particular, because you have to look at where these impulses are coming from, and it's this candlestick here where things really start moving for pound US dollar. And obviously right now we've retested this zone, we're starting to see a little bit of upside. Doesn't mean that it's going to continue and just, you know, straight line. However, what we may see is a short-term pullback, and then the market continue to break higher. So we have to be a little bit careful with the pound at the moment. Although we started to see that weakness creep in, and it will still show on the strength and weakness, we have to be aware what retail markets are doing, and we don't really want to be trading the way they are trading. Euro as well, just moving on to this chart, Euro obviously had a pretty bad time this week as well. It's actually stayed a bit stronger against a couple of currencies. However, it has dropped quite noticeably against the US dollar. Again, that dollar strength really taking hold through here. Likelihood is that that dollar strength may continue slightly. We are going to take a look at some seasonal charts going into next week just to show you what's going on there. We are approaching a potential period of weakness for the US dollar, which will be interesting to take a look at. Actually, I think I've got something here. Let me just have a quick look at this. Let's just actually bring in the dollar index seasonal chart right now, because I've got it here. And obviously we're approaching the end of March, going into April, and April is usually a pretty bad month for the US dollar. So we're starting to see the market shape up in a way that there's very much a lot of dollar buying at the moment. We're seeing this downtrend continue. How far will this last? Now, like I said, dollar here typically has a pretty bad month, so we could start seeing a little bit of dollar weakness starting to come back through into the markets, which could take retail traders by surprise. Okay, and it's interesting to see that we're coming back into these major swing areas from before, where prices started to bounce from recently. So I think we may see maybe another week of downside to these markets. However, we could see some huge reversals coming in pretty soon. So we'll keep an eye on this. Obviously, the weekly chart is going to play a big part in our outlook, looking at that seasonal pattern. But Kiwi's looking a little bit weaker at the moment. I think there's still a little bit more downside to those risk currencies like Kiwi dollar and Aussie US dollar. However, we may see a little bit of upside to euro and pound. So we'll keep a look at what's going on this going into next week. I'll show you in the Forex market outlook where we should be best positioning ourselves. But I hope you enjoyed the content this week, and I hope you have a great weekend. Speak to you soon.